What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Sammy and I obviously talk about the law of attraction. We'll get into that. I talk about that and the paranormal, but I wanted my first video of the decade to be about something important. I wanted to start this year and this decade off right with something useful. If you've been here before, you know that I've made a couple of videos on law of attraction, like myths and things like that. I want to kind of do, this is kind of like an updated video. I feel like I have learned a lot more since those, and I feel like I am finally to the point where I know exactly what I'm doing. I've been able to successfully manifest pretty much every single thing without fail and without a big time delay, which is one thing I told you guys if you were here before, that there doesn't have to be a time delay. And I will, in more videos, explain why and how to avoid that, because no one talks about that. Like, no one talks about that. And I want to be the one place where you can come and know that there are no rules. There are no limiting beliefs here. Which reminds me, if you are new and you have not subscribed, please do so. Join the Mermaid Gang, because here we suspend our disbelief. And I want to disprove all of the limiting beliefs that have to do with manifesting. So I think the first thing that I want to start with is quit law of attraction. Please quit the law of attraction. Quit the vibes. Quit the vision boards. Quit the affirmations. Quit the 55 by 5. Quit the 2-cup method. Quit. And come on over to the law of assumption. I studied the law of attraction for years and it failed me many times. Many times. I never had success. I don't even think even one success. No, not even one, until I came across the teachings of Neville Goddard. If you do not know who Neville Goddard is, oh my gosh, look him up. I'm not going to explain to you who he is. I want you to look him up, because his teachings changed my life. We'll get more into him specifically as a person in another video, but look him up, listen or read his books, videos that have to do with his teachings, click on them. My favorite people that talk about Neville Goddard teachings and base every single thing they do off Neville Goddard are 2020, is spelled out just like that, 2020, and Candice, which is Awaken the God Self on YouTube. Please, highly recommend both of those people. They're fucking amazing, okay? They're amazing, and they contributed to me understanding more of Neville Goddard's teachings, where I was confused, and really got me in the manifesting zone. I have had so many successful manifestations this month. I have had bills randomly paid. I have had money. I have had tons of success with the revision. I actually did a video a while back on how I manifested my followers on Instagram. It's like called 50K in 3 months or something like that. And I really want to redo that video, because now I know exactly how I did it. It was because I felt like an influencer. I called it acting as if in that video because I didn't know any better at the time. But now I can tell you that what worked was me feeling the naturalness of being an influencer. I embodied being an influencer, and that is what manifested. So, speaking of that, let's go ahead and get into exactly how to manifest. There are so many things we can talk about. as far as Neville Goddard's teachings and techniques and how the world actually works. Like, it's a lot, especially if you're just getting started on Neville Goddard. But the very first thing I want to tell you, again, drop the law of attraction. You're not attracting anything. I'm gonna blow your mind here if you're new to this, and if you're really like an LOA person that watches Abraham Hicks, please stop watching her videos. Please stop watching her videos. There is no vortex. You are God. You are the creator. You are the operant power, and nothing can exist in your reality that you did not imagine or feel real at some point. You have created what your life is. That is the first step to the law of assumption and to really taking control of your life, is accepting responsibility for everything that already exists in your life. You have to accept responsibility because everything in your life, you created it. You assumed the state of consciousness in which those things exist. But the good thing is, because we can do that, we can change states. So if you're in a state of lack, you can move into a state of wealth. If you're in a state of being unwanted, you can move into a state of being wanted. If you are unloved, you can move into loved. If you are sad, you can move into happy. Everything in your life is a direct manifestation of something that you have felt real. That is why it really busts a lot of law of attraction things, because you did not have to do a 55 by 5 to go broke. You did not have to do a 55 by 5 to have a shitty relationship, did you? Therefore, that should tell you, you don't have to do that shit to change it to what you want it to be. That really opened my eyes when I started thinking, like, I did not make a vision board to struggle, okay? I ain't do that. So therefore, I don't have to make no vision board to stop struggling. So, let's get into, because I could really take this topic for hours. I could talk about this for hours. Let's get into how to manifest your desires, how to not delay yourself, because the law of attraction will have you waiting years. You don't need to wait years. I'm going to read you this from Neville Goddard, and this tells you it does not take long. If you'll drop the LOA and the vortex and the Abraham Hicks and all that bullshit and the good vibes, you do not have to be in good vibes. I'll explain why, probably in another video, but no, you do not have to keep your vibes high. You need to feel natural. You do not need to force excitement. So let me read you this quote from Neville Goddard. The Bible gives it as 3 days. The duration is 3 days for response in this world. If I would now assume I am what I want to be, and if I am faithful to it and walk as though I were, the very longest stretch given for its realization is 3 days. If you remain in that state, you are told in the Bible, 3 days, you will be spewed out on dry land. 3 doesn't mean 3 days in the Bible. 3 means fullness. 3 means complete. So if I will live within that state for 3 days, until the whole thing seems natural and seems real, and it has the sensory vividness of reality, meaning smell, taste, touch, sound. I love to use hearing and touching in my visualization, and it works every time. I will then be spewed out as something objective and something that is commonly called in the Bible land or dry land. So if you can hold that state, if you can feel the naturalness of that state that you want to be in, of being whatever you want to be or whoever you want to be, whether it be successful or wealthy or loved or wanted, or a certain car owner or a home owner, if you will get into that state and hold it stay in it for 3 days and it feels natural to you, it will objectify in your world. It will manifest in your 3D world. If you can hold it for 3 days, that's it. 3 days, 3 days. You've waited your whole life. 3 days is all it takes. If you stick with the law of attraction, you'll be waiting 3 years. Unnecessary. That is what really motivated me. I am not in the business of waiting. I am probably the most impatient person on this planet. I don't got time for that. I don't like to wait. I am spoiled. I like things now. Matter of fact, I realized that at one point, for a long time, I was in a very spoiled state. So even though I was in a situation in my life where I should have been high and dry, I was being catered to and I never had to worry about anything. Everything is a state. So what do you want to do? Now that I've told you why you don't have to wait, I'm going to tell you exactly how to manifest. I've said that 15 times, but I'm really going to tell you now. You need to, number one, figure out what is your desire. What is it that you desire? And I don't mean a secondary desire. And I don't mean what do you desire to get to another desire. Like if you want a home, I don't want you trying to manifest money for the home. Because let me tell you something. If you want a home, you can get a home. And whoever needs to move to give you that home, no qualifications needed, no money needed. Whoever needs to move to make sure you get that home, you are going to get that home. People have been manifesting homes in like 3 days, 3 to 10 days. I mean, no income, no credit. They should not be logically able to get a home, to be a homeowner. There are no rules. There are no rules in manifesting. So I mean what you actually desire, not what you think you can logically have, not what the world tells you you can have. What is it you desire? I want you to think to yourself for real. What is your real actual desire? Whatever that is, whatever your real desire is, the next thing I want you to do is ask yourself, what would imply that I had my desire? What would be different in my daily life? What would my daily life be like? What would a day for me be like? Or what scene would imply that I have exactly what I desire? So if it's a home, a great scene, and your scene should only be 5 to 10 seconds. It doesn't need to be some long drawn out thing. 5 to 10 seconds, that's all you need, because the scene is really not what matters. What you are doing when you're imagining these things is feeling it real. You are feeling it real. So you just need a 5 to 10 second scene. So I'm going to give you an example. If I want to be a homeowner, I'm going to go past the buying of the home because I don't know how that's happening. That's not my business. It's not my problem. I'm going to go past the signing of the papers. I'm going to, we're just going to go past all that. We're going to go to either the housewarming. You could go to the housewarming party. If you want to do the housewarming party, then I would say to do something like hearing someone congratulate you. So you could imagine yourself, if you have an idea of what you want your home to look like, you could imagine, standing in your kitchen or your living room and have a trusted person be talking to you. Someone you know what their voice sounds like. This needs to be natural. This needs to be a natural reaction from someone that you know would react this way to you. Someone you know would be happy for you and congratulate you. So see your trusted person. If it's your mom, if it's your sister, if it's your best friend, if it's your cousin, whoever, it don't matter. I'm going to give an example and I'm going to say your best friend. Because my best friend, this is how it would be. My best friend would be talking to me and she would say to me, wow, Sammy, this house is beautiful. You got your house. Congratulations. I'm so happy for you. It's beautiful. And then we would hug. And I could imagine, in my imagination, I could feel hugging her. I could feel her hair. You know what it feels like to hug someone or shake someone's hand. If you want a handshake, you could, when I imagine scenes with my husband in them, I imagine how his jacket feels when I touch his arm. He has a specific jacket that I know what it feels like, so I imagine touching his arm. I've used that and I could feel the jacket, and it manifested the very next day. So imagine a congratulatory conversation. Your house is so beautiful. Like, it is so beautiful. Congratulations, I'm so happy for you. And hug or handshake. Done. Loop it. Run it back. Do it again. Run it back. Do it again. Run it back. Do it again. You loop it in your mind until it feels natural and real. In my experience, the things that manifested for me was when I felt like, after my imagining, it was a memory. Like, I actually had that experience. Like, we actually had that conversation. Like, it would occur to me later, like, oh wow, wait, that wasn't a real conversation. It feels real. And those were the things that would manifest for me. And they manifested in less than 12 hours probably. Sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 3 hours. One of mine happened in 3 hours. And those were the things that I used. So that goes for anything, not just a house. If it's not a congratulatory thing, if it's money. If it is money that you desire, I suggest asking yourself again, what would imply that I had plenty of money, and if it's bills, all my bills were paid, what would, and I get this from 2020. I watch 2020 and Awaken the God Self on YouTube, and I'm in 2020's Law of Attraction Neville Goddard group on Facebook. They're amazing. They're the best people to watch if you want to learn about Neville Goddard techniques and Neville Goddard teachings and lectures. They're amazing. They really got me where I am by explaining perfectly how I could understand. So if it's money, ask yourself, what would it be like buying something that you buy daily? In my case, it would be shopping at Target. I shop at Target. If I wanted to imply that I had plenty of money, I would probably imagine myself purchasing many items and not worrying about the price, not counting anything, or filling your car up. How would you fill your car up with gas? Would you care how much the gas costs? No, you're not going to care. Imagine something like that that implies that you have plenty of money. I like to include a conversation because I like to hear things. So I'll imagine a conversation with my husband. One time we needed a situation to speed up. Actually, we needed it to happen because they were trying to not give us money that was owed to us. And so I imagined past that, and I imagined us in line at Starbucks and in Target, because that's a normal thing for me. And I imagined touching his arm and touching the buggy in front of me and my son, because that's a normal scene for me. And I said to my husband in my visual, I'm so happy that they've released your money and that, you know, we no longer have to worry about it. I'm so happy. And he just replied to me something like, yes, I'm so happy. You know, they finally released our money. We're done with that situation. It was great. By the next day, they had released the money. They were holding this money for 3 months at this point. I mean, it was ridiculous. Choose what you desire and find a scene. Think of a scene, a natural scene that would occur in your life that would imply that you have what you want. Those are just 2 examples. I mean, many people want many different things. I'm sure you can figure out something along those lines that would work for you. And if you can't, you can always ask me in the comments and I'll give you ideas to use for a scene. If it's weight loss, you can imagine a scene where you look at the size in your shorts or your pants that you would like to wear and put them on. Just simple. You just need something simple and short to loop and make it feel natural. And if when you come out of it you still don't quite feel like it's a memory, like it's real, like it was natural, you just do it again whenever you get chances to do it. Which leads me to number 3. You need to do this in a state akin to sleep. A lot of people misinterpret Neville's state akin to sleep with literally being on the verge of falling asleep. You're in a state akin to sleep many times throughout the day. Otherwise, the things that you thought about in passing wouldn't have manifested in your life. Many people call them coincidences. They're not coincidences. You imagined it, felt it real without really thinking about it or without really considering it or considering that being what it is, and it manifested because you were in a state akin to sleep. Anytime you're relaxed or doing something habitual where you don't really have to consciously think about what you are doing, washing the dishes, if you're sitting anywhere relaxed, if you're walking anywhere and you stop for a minute, you can be in a state akin to sleep in just a second. You can do it in just a minute. You do not have to be on the verge of sleeping. Now you can do these things before you fall asleep, and that works really well. And doing it when you first wake up in the morning and you're still drowsy, that works really well, as long as you can still control your thoughts, as long as you can still control what you're imagining. But a state akin to sleep just means your body is immobilized to an extent, and you calmly, in a relaxed state, can imagine for a moment. Okay, you can just, loop it for a minute. But I want you to understand that the success or the manifestation is not because of your scene. There are people who cannot picture things. They can only hear things. Neville tells a story about a woman who would manifest for other people by hearing. She couldn't visualize it, so she would hear it. And I have done that. I have done it where I simply heard someone say something that I did not agree with, and I wanted it done now, and they didn't want to do it now. And so I heard them say that they were doing it now, and within like an hour, they were doing what I wanted them to do. So, yeah, you don't have to visualize if you can't. If you're not a visual person, hear it. But imagine something that gets you into the feeling of your wish fulfilled. That is the key. And it needs to feel natural. I don't mean imagine a large sum of money and you're jumping around screaming. No, that is not natural. That is not something normal you do in your everyday life. It needs to be natural to you. If you get a new house, yeah, you're going to be excited when you first get it, but are you going to be running around screaming every single day? No, you're going to go in a normal state of being a homeowner. If you come into a bunch of money, you're going to be excited at first, but it's just going to become a normal thing. Okay, I have a lot of money. I can buy whatever I want now. I can naturally go to the store and I don't have to worry about what I'm spending. I can naturally go pamper myself more often, but you're not going to be jumping around screaming. You know what I'm saying? You do not need to be forcing good vibes or excitement. That is not natural. That will not work. I'm telling you, you cannot fool the God in you. You can't fool it. It knows you better than you know you. That is where your desires come from. Honestly, the way we're supposed to be operating is as soon as we get a desire, we are supposed to step into the assumption that we have it. And the assumption in this case means exactly what you think it means. When you assume something about someone or about a circumstance or a situation or yourself, that is what you get. You are assuming that it is this way, and therefore it is this way because you feel natural about it. You assume it is true. So you just need to start assuming that you have what you want. You need to start assuming that you are who you want to be. The law of assumption. Cross out. Imagine I'm crossing out law of attraction and I'm rewriting law of assumption. It is the law of assumption. There is no attracting anything. When whatever you assume to be true is what manifests in your world, because you are the operant power. It is very simple once you understand. Yes, I'm Italian. That is why I keep doing this. I'm sorry. It is a habit. What you assume to be true is what's going to be true. We're going to stop there for now because honestly, I could talk about this for hours. But that is your basic outline of how to manifest. If you have any questions before I do another video, you can comment them down below or go to my social media and you can message me about them. But I will be doing more videos. So I want to do a video on Everyone Is You Pushed Out. I want to do a video on revision because I'm really good at revision. Like, I'm really good at revision. So if you have any questions, let me know. If there's something that wasn't completely clear to you. I know it was a lot, but it's like when it's so much information that I really want to share with people to make sure that they get it, I really didn't know where to start. So this is the best that I knew to do. Thank you so much for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and like the video if you did like it. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions. Again, I will answer them. I don't mind. And I'll be back with another video ASAP. And if you have any requests on the next video you would like me to make, something that you would like me to cover for you, let me know and I will do it. So thank you so much for watching again, and we out.